The ice crumbles tonight, and only our cameras were rolling.
This is pretty incredible video, isn't it? The ice was from the water that firefighters used last night to put out a 4-alarm fire in blizzard conditions. The night team's Julie Tremmel is live in North Attleboro. She's the only one that has that video.
Well, Dana Patrice, all that water the fire crews dumped on this building created such a heavy load for the structure, it had to come down right around 8:30 p.m. after demo crews were picking away at it ever so carefully. It was a very tense moment when it just started to list and came down. This century-old building used to be home for dozens and a place of business for hundreds of others. But now it's a part of North Attleboro history. NBC 10 was the only news crew that stood outdoors through 5 hours of demolition for these incredible shots of the building collapsing from 2 different angles. The entire structure had to come down because the timing of the fire that ripped through it couldn't have been worse.
You talk about a perfect storm.
As fate would have it, the North Washington Street fire broke out right smack in the middle of a blizzard.
We had significant wind chill factors, we had significant fire load, and we also had just come from another fire.
Incredibly, despite all the odds, no residents or fire crews were injured. But the equipment the 9 responding fire departments were using to fight the blaze wasn't quite as lucky. Take a look at these still photos. You can see this Plainville ladder truck literally entombed in a perfectly fit coffin of ice. And just about every inch of the building and power lines took on the shape and intensity of the wind that was blowing all night. Now that the emergency is over, getting the fire apparatus back up and running for the next call is the hard part. And as it turns out, even that can be dangerous.
Right, well, we had to chip away all the ice off of our truck.
Whoa.
We had to chip away all the ice to get the truck to even be able to move and get out of the alley that it was in North Attleboro.
And it's a little bit dangerous too. I mean, that was a big heavy chunk of ice.
Absolutely. Yep, no, it is dangerous.
It took a crew of 15 men chipping away at the exterior and hours of thawing just to get the ladder truck to this point. So imagine how the crews working out there felt.
And I know several of our guys actually were encrusted in ice pretty much like the truck was.
A lot of the community came by to thank us and whatnot, and there was almost a sympathetic type tone to them for us having to be out here, but this is what we do. Demo
crews will spend all day tomorrow removing what's left of the building, but here's an interesting factoid for you. All the fire crews were so worried about their equipment that was encased in that ice, they actually called TF Green Airport to see if the airport could spare any de-icing trucks to come help them out. As you can imagine, the airport had a few disasters of their own to deal with, so it never worked out. But as you can see from the video, the fire crews locally were able to figure out how to thaw their own gear, including all of those lines of hoses. We're live here in North Attleboro. Julie Tremmel, NBC 10 News, The Night Team.